Good evening, and I tell you what, it's been really, really cold today in Devon. I'm in Devon, and I'm by the sea, and the trouble is, I think it's been really, really terrible today with everything going on. And but the virus, there. Oh, I'm not going to be mopey. Forget about being mopey. I've got a nice young lady to keep me company for the next three quarters of an hour. Anyway, Charlie, nice to meet you.
And
How are
you?
you?
I'm very
Yeah,
well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good, good.
Good.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight. You're,
Okay, thanks for having me.
brilliant. I want to ask you a couple of questions. I want to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to watch a couple of videos and stuff. Um,
Okay.
being married, you were when you were young, you were about 3 years old, and you were kind of like, you were started, acting then or performing then, wouldn't you? About three
Yeah,
years old. Then you went on to kind of like ballet school,
yeah. That's
didn't
what
you?
I did for years. I just danced for years. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to sing. I didn't really ever think about acting. It never really came into my life. I never really needed to do it. So I just danced for years. I think when I got a bit older, when I sort of reached sort of teenage years, I realised that I needed to do a little bit more than just dance, but I was
Yeah,
terrified of it. So
yeah,
yeah, I followed my dream and went on to dance, and I danced professionally when I graduated, and then
yeah,
developed into from there.
yeah. Because you did the Nutcracker, didn't you?
Yeah,
You done the
I did that when
Nutcracker.
I was young. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. How did you do that? Because that is very tough, isn't it, for a dancer for the Nutcracker?
that was I was with a youth ballet company, and we did that.
Yeah,
So I can't remember how I must have been about 12 when I did that. Um, I did a lot of ballet, and a lot of it was very hard, and my body wasn't right for it. I didn't have the best legs and feet and things like that, and I've got quite broad shoulders. My mum's a swimmer, so I've got her broad back. But I tried my best and pushed my body to the max, and yeah, I tried to succeed in it, but it's hard.
okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Why Marilyn? Why Marilyn Monroe?
Kind of by accident. I've always been one to have hair disasters. I've had so many hair disasters in my life. It's unbelievable. And I actually had really long red hair a few years ago. But my natural hair colour, what you can see now because I've got roots. Oh, this thing's mirrored. It's like a dirty brown, and I wanted to go back to my natural colour. And I put like a lightener on it to try and go back to my natural colour. It kind of went gingery with hints of blonde in it. And then I kind of thought, well, I've gone lighter than my natural colour, so I might as well just roll with it and go blonde for a bit. And I did. And at the time, my hair was quite short. I had cut it off from when it was long and red because it was easier to strip the colour if it was shorter. And people kept, you look like Marilyn Monroe, Marilyn Monroe. And I'd turn up to dance gigs, and people would to learn to develop the singing and practice the hair and the makeup and get looks of as spot on as I could, and yeah, developed an act from it. So it's kind of by accident.
Um, because when Marilyn Monroe was kind of like alive and everything, she was very trendy woman. Men really kind of like took fancy to her. Didn't at one particular time, I think she had around about 5 or 6 men on the go. At one particular time. What I read
She was
about her anyway. Yeah, yeah,
she was
yeah,
she was very popular with men, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But she was a classy, but she was a classy and a sexy woman to be with, wouldn't she? Really?
She's very classy. I think the style in the 50s was quite classy anyway, but she was a very classy lady, and she spoke very well and came across very well, and yeah, she's very classically beautiful as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like yourself. Um, what I'm trying to say, how do you just keep up with the appearance?
Sorry?
Sorry, how do you just keep up with the appearance? Because you look like her.
I'm sorry, it really broke up there. Hold on, I might try and
Yeah.
turn my Wi-Fi off and see if that's better.
Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, okay. Hello.
I'm so sorry, I lost ages there. I don't know what don't know what happened with my internet. Can you hear me? Am I back?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you. You're back. You're back. Um, I was just saying before
Okay,
we
good.
broke up.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I was just saying when we broke up, before we broke up, that you, it must take a long time to keep the appearance up for Marilyn Monroe because you look like her.
The makeup I can do quite quickly now. It's actually quite simple when you get the hang of it. She didn't have, I mean, back then they didn't use a lot of the makeup techniques that they do now. So actually, it's quite easy makeup. And I realized that when I was learning how to do it, I was like, wow, this is actually really simple to do. Nowadays, you try and follow makeup tutorials and they're so fussy and there's so many things that I don't understand. So easy. The hair, in terms of bleaching it quite often, that's hard to maintain. But again, once you've found a style that works and a way of styling it, again, it's sort of do regularly when you've got the hang of it. So it's easy to do now. I can get ready quite quickly now when I need to.
What's it like popping out of the cake?
Sorry.
What's it like popping out of the cake? You know, Marilyn. You know, did
I
you get
love
that
that.
question?
Yeah,
Do you,
I did. One time there was a spider in the cake. That was scary. I had to wait in it for about 15 minutes before I was able to jump out of it. And I'm sat there and I can just see this thing crawling at like the side of my eyes. And I was just thinking, just don't look, don't look, don't look. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. When you tell not to look at something, you have to look. And I looked and it was a spider and I was just stuck with it for 15 minutes. And that was quite horrible. I've never jumped out so fast. We jumped right out the top of it because that's quite scary. But other than that, I love it.
do you ever get stopped? Do you ever get stopped in? Do you ever get stopped in the middle of the street and say, "You look like Marilyn Monroe"?
Yeah, I had it yesterday as well. I was in Cambridge yesterday. I get it quite a bit. It's really sweet. I like it when people do it, as long as they're respectful,
Yeah.
and not making inappropriate comments.
All right. So when you
Yeah.
when you go out there downtown or go shopping, do you dress up as Marilyn Monroe clothes?
I always dress anyway, just that suits my body shape. And so yeah, I wouldn't say I like copy her outfits or anything like that, but I always dress quite down in those kind of shape clothes. So I like things that like pull in your waist and accentuate your curves anyway. So I think a lot of the time people probably do think I'm like going posh or trying to dress like Marilyn. That's really not the case. I just think that style of clothing suits her. So
So so what I'm trying to say is now is that if you're doing that, then you're bound to get like wolf whistles, aren't you, while you're out?
Oh, sorry, I
Did
lost
you?
you there again. I think it broke up. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
What? No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't need to say sorry. It happens. I was just saying that when you're out and when you're wearing these clothes and everything, you probably get wolf whistles, don't you? Quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't like that. I tend to ignore that. Mind if someone is polite and they come over and say, "Oh, you look like Marilyn Monroe." I get that quite a lot, or I hear people saying it around me. Might not even say it to me. Like friends will be like, "They're talking about you." I'm like, I get that quite a lot. Like things like wolf whistling and shouting out car windows and beeping. I think most girls get that, and it's generally not appreciated. I don't know why men do it.
So why don't you? But the trouble is, don't you like the attention? What you're getting then?
It's not necessarily that. It's kind of, I think it's quite disrespectful attention because like women don't do that to men, and there's a way to approach someone and there's a way to talk to someone
Yeah, of
and
course.
there's a
Yeah,
respectful
yeah,
way to approach someone and tell them they look nice or you fancy them or
yeah, yeah.
something.
Yeah, I was told I was brought up like that way. So yeah, it's the best way of doing it. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
you don't do that. You don't do that at all. Um, you are well known in the UK for being the actual Marilyn Monroe, aren't you? Lookalike.
Yes, so that was what year was that? I can't remember what year that was. Did on Tribute Music Awards. So a lot of tribute artists apply to win awards in different categories. And the year that I applied, I was going to apply for the tribute awards anyway because I do a tribute. They created a lookalike category that year. I entered that category, and now I've got that title next to my name, which always sounds quite good. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Also, I see that you travel around Europe. You go around different places and everything. What's the best place you ever been to?
For me, it was Paris. I had a photo shoot in Paris, and then I went on from Paris on a cruise ship from Spain. And Paris was good to me. I just liked the city. Everything about it was good. I've always wanted to go to Paris, and the people there, lovely. It was an absolute dream. I just loved everything about it. So I actually got proposed to that day by a stranger, but that's another story.
Are you married to him now?
No, I don't think he even spoke
No.
English.
Oh, right. Okay. You said right. Okay.
Oh
Um.
dear.
Okay. Um. So plus you've done the. Sorry, you're just making me laugh. Plus you've done a lot of cruises, didn't you? You've been on cruises, ships. You've done everything, haven't you? Really, basically.
Yeah, I think I've still got a lot more to do. And that's what I've kind of been spending a lot doing is just rebranding and working on new projects. And I'm quite excited for the future and doing some different things. I've got a lot more to do. I've got a lot more places to go. And I'll be over soon. And I can get to
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
things because I'm really excited to get back out there and do some different things again and experience new things too.
Right. Okay. So, celebrity wise, who have you met? Celebrity wise, I see that you met David Cameron.
So I'm actually really bad with celebrities, which is so embarrassing because I've been at so many events where there's been celebrities. I have no idea. A lot of like if I'm working with dancers or with other acts, they're like, "Oh my god, such and such a person's here," and I'm like, "Who's that?" I literally have no idea who it is. Um, so again, I'm probably even going to get his name wrong. Ken Barlow from EastEnders. I thought he was a lookalike. Turns out
Ken
he's the real
Barlow.
guy.
Ken
I've worked
Barlow.
with him.
Hang on
He's
for a second. Ken
Yeah, I
Barlow from
think it was Ken Barlow.
yeah, it was Ken Barlow, but he's
Is
from
the real
Coronation
name or is that
Street.
his?
No, that's William Roach.
Oh, I have no idea.
Ken Barlow from East End. Oh, you're funny. You crack you funny. Uh, yeah.
This is what I mean. I don't know who anyone. I performed in front of David Cameron. I've worked with Anita Harris. Jess, he's a really good friend of mine. I call him Uncle Jess. I love him. I've met Tom Jones. So many people. I couldn't even remember the name of a duo that I worked with the other day who I went with, Chaz and Dave. They were hilarious. At this event we did, we caused absolute mayhem backstage. But that's another story. We stole 3 bottles of champagne each from them. So yeah, I've been quite lucky. There's probably other people that haven't crossed my mind right now, but
come on then.
So yeah, no A-listers. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back to the champagne then. Come on.
I did an event with Chaz and Dave, and it was a massive event, and they had there was a free bar at the hotel, and they had a champagne stand, and it was just before I went on stage, and I like on stage with, I call it a prop. It's obviously not a prop, it's just that I want to drink, and oh, can I have champagne please? And they were like, yeah, a glass or a bottle, and I was like, both. Can I have a glass for now and a bottle for later? And they were like, yeah, sure. And they were just handing out these bottles of champagne. So I was like, well, I'll make the most of this. So I went backstage, and the guys, Chaz and Dave, what's that you've got? I was like, champagne. Where did you get that? I said, from the bar. They said, can we get one? I said, yeah, why not? So between us, we went up 3 times each. And I mean, that's 9 bottles of champagne we managed to steal and shove in our cars at the end of the gig. So yeah, that was good. That was a good gig.
CID is on its way. I just phoned the police up. You nicked their champagne. I'm only joking.
It was good champagne as well, I'll tell you.
I bet it was. Yeah. Let's get back to Marilyn Monroe. So, what's your favourite song of Marilyn Monroe's?
Oh, it depends on the event, because in a theatre, I love doing like a ballad or something a little bit slower. Whereas on a corporate event or a private party, I love doing fun, so I get to have a bit more fun with the audience. So it very much depends on the event. I really love, probably one of my favourites is After You Get What You Want, You Don't Want. I don't know what it is. There's something about that, and like, there's something about that that's different, and like a time signature change in it, which is quite fun and different to a lot of Marilyn's other. So that's probably one of my favourites. It's quite an unusual one as well.
Yeah. How do you remember all the songs? How do you remember all the songs?
Sorry, what was that? How do I remember all the words?
Yeah, for the songs, yeah.
With difficult, I just have to listen to them over and over and over until they actually go in, and I have to sing it back time and time again. I'm quite a slow learner, but once something's in, it's in, and it won't go, and I'll remember it forever. But it takes a while to get it in. And the thing is, there's a lot of people that can go on stage and not be that sure about what they're doing, and but because I'm still reasonably new to the singing thing, I have to be 100% certain of what I'm doing in order to be able to do it properly and feel like I can do it justice. I need to know that I know it inside out, back to, and create like a muscle memory, I guess. So I know that nothing's going to come out wrong, and there's been times when I've got the odd word fluffed up here and there, but touch wood, I haven't got anything wrong. Touch wood, nothing major yet.
I was just about to say, what's your most embarrassing moment?
Oh, okay. Someone asked me this question on I did an Instagram Q&A the other day and someone asked me this, and it brought back a few memories. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, it was obviously funny afterwards. I go up to men in the audience quite a lot and pick on them, you know, as you do. And I went over to this man and he seemed very nice and he was sat with his wife and I was very polite and called him sir. And it was a woman. So that was embarrassing. He laughed it off. She laughed it off. Sorry, I'm not this bad, honestly. She laughed it off, and after, I mean, she's my biggest fan that night. We had a million photos together, and yeah, I think she thought it was quite funny. At least I got to, at least I got to flirt with her, so she was quite happy.
Yeah. How long does it take you to get ready for a gig or for a show?
Mentally, from the day before. In terms of hair and makeup, about an hour ish. I like to take my time stuff. I could do it quicker if I wanted to rush. But generally I sleep with my hair in pin curls, so I style it when it's wet and then let it dry overnight. So that's what I do, because I just let it dry.
You sleep in pin curls?
I sleep with my hair in pin curls. Yeah, it's an old-fashioned way of styling hair. So the neck's really quick to do, you just brush it out. But mentally, I like to take a bit of time to calm down and get to know my environment and, you know, sort everything out like that. I'm quite particular about making sure I'm in a good mindset before I go on stage and I can get into character properly. I get quite flustered and quite stressed if I'm sort of thrown into something suddenly. I have to be Marilyn was, you know, softly spoken and calm all the time. If you're putting on that persona, you can't go on in a panic and being flustered. You have to kind of take the time to calm down into the role a little bit.
Yeah. I want to go back in time now. When you did the panto, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
yes, I was with Christopher Biggins, a rugby player who played for England, whose name I can't remember, and my mum will kick me in a bit. She's watching this. She'll kick not remembering his name. And Joe Pasquale as well.
That's it. Yeah. What were they like? Because what were they like to work with?
Great. They were really, really lovely. Joe Pasquale was the kindest. Like, he was so sweet. I have as much he was nice enough stage, but Joe was just, he was great. I mean, I was really young at the time. I say really young, again I was probably about 12, 13, but I remember him being so lovely to us all, so that was nice.
Is your house full of vintage clothing? Shall I say that again?
Say that again, sorry.
Yeah. Is your dressing room full of vintage clothing? Vintage, you know, old clothing like Marilyn Monroe's clothing.
Not really. No, I like stuff, and I like, it sounds really tacky. I love like tacky Hollywood, hence like this backdrop here. I love tacky Hollywood, red and gold, and, you know, the new modern stuff, but kind of cheesy.
What does your mum think of you? What you're doing?
She just loves anything I do, performance wise. I mean, yeah, she's really supportive. I think at first when I said, I'm going, she was like, do you have to sing? I was like, yes, I'm gonna have to sing. She was like, whoa, you've never done that before. So when she first came to watch me, I was terrified. I always get nervous before friends or family anyway. I feel like there's most pressure when they're there. But she's really supportive, and she just laughs at some of my stories from events, and she thinks it's hilarious. Like when I'm working away a lot, I don't get to see her, and I don't see her all the time because we work, very different times. She works in the day, I work in evenings and weekends. And catch up the amount of times my mum just sits there with her head in her hands like, what have you done now? And she laughs at all the stories I tell her and the backstage antics and me getting lost on the motorway at 3 o'clock in the morning and all these other crazy things that I get at. So she thinks it's quite funny.
I was just about to say that. I've got a question here, and it says here, Charlie,
Okay.
have you ever been lost on the Have you ever been lost on the motorway and you ended
As
up at the same place? Got questions here.
not so much at the same place. I got lost once. I think the M6 was closed and had to go off around Coventry, and obviously Coventry is on like a ring road system, and I remember I was getting so stressed and I was so tired, and I had a show the next day, and I was just circles and circles and circles around Coventry, and in the end I was like, I've just been on this road, and the sat nav for some reason kept taking me back onto the same road, and in the end I just kind of had to drive and hope that I came out of Coventry the part 6 to carry on. A nightmare that day. But as recent as yesterday, I was on the phone to my friend when I left Cambridge, and I knew I had to go from Cambridge on the M11, and I went, oh my goodness, and she said, what have you done? And I was like, I'm going M11 south instead of north. And she lives in Essex, and she was like, you might as well come here. I was like, I could have done, yeah. Muscular occurrence.
Don't worry about it. We all get lost. I've got some questions here for you. Where is it to? Here we go. Have a read of that.
Can I ask what made you in dancing, and who else do you look up to when it comes to singing, dancing, and oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's so sweet. It's so clever how you got that to pop up here. That's great. What made me get into singing and dancing? So my mum was a swimmer, like I said, but you can't swim till I think it was like 5 or something like that at the time. So when I was about 3, my mum wanted me to get out and do something, so she took me to dance class, and I was a very scared child. I was scared of everything, and I used to hate it. I didn't hate it. I loved it, but everything terrified me. And I used to like going, and my mum she kept me going, and she was like, when you get old enough you can go swimming and things like that, and it was just a way to sort of keep me busy and keep me out the house. But I got doing exams, and then I got put into competition at school that I did. We were lucky enough to compete a few times a year, and we did our own shows every couple of years and things like that. And I just I got that's what, like the fire in the back, that thing, like I love it, I want to do it. And I never really liked school, and when I was at school, all I would ever do was dream about dancing, and I just that was really loved or ever really wanted to do. In terms of who I looked up to as a kid, I always obviously looked up to Darcy Bussell, and at the time Deborah Bull was quite big. Back then I think it was mostly ballet dancers. And then when I got older, I started to watch more musicals, and that's when I got more into, back then when I was sort of starting to get to it, it's likes of Kerry Ellis and Idina Menzel and all of that, and cheesy musical people. Whereas now I'm a bit more in
Because you
music and things like that. I love like the old stars like Ella Fitzgerald and Peggy Lee and that.
Oh yes, you can't beat them, can you? No one can beat them. Not the olden days.
Really, exactly.
Freddie Astaire. Used to like Freddie Astaire and all sorts. I also got a question here as far as we were Stacey's popped up. Here we go. I have a full wardrobe of full circle vintage pleated skirts and dresses. I love their fashion.
Wardrobe of Vintage Peter skirts and dresses. I love that fashion. So do I. I don't often wear full circle skirts because I feel like that doesn't suit me that well, but I absolutely love them. I love wearing them on to events, but generally don't wear them like day to day, but they're gorgeous. If you can pull them off, then do it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Wayne's back again. Oh, oh no, that's an old one. Sorry about this. Um,
That's all right.
how long have you been singing and dancing now?
Is that your way of finding out my age? If you know I started at 3, so you can work it out if any years. So I don't actually know how many years that is technically. So if I started when I was 3, I'm now 28. So 27, 26, 25 years. Whoa, 25 years. That's how
Yes,
long I've been doing it
25 years.
professionally. So yeah. So I graduated in 2013. So I've been doing it professionally for, this is so bad, 2020, 2019. Wait, how many years is that? 3,
That's
4,
20,
5, 6,
20,
7, 7 years.
7 years. It's like going back to school with you. So
I
you're
said I
so
wasn't very
funny.
academic.
We're
This
not.
is
We're
why I
not.
play a blonde for a living.
Never mind. Never mind. Also, you played. You, right. Also, you played in Oliver, didn't you?
You what,
You,
sorry?
you you've done Oliver, didn't you? You played. You actually starred in Oliver, didn't you?
Yeah, I did Oliver again years ago. I was one of the orphans in that back in the day, smudging dirt on my face, and yeah, did that years ago at the Derngate, which is in my hometown. It's a big theatre, lovely theatre actually. So yeah.
Okay. Right. Got a question here again. What's the best theatre that you ever played in?
What's the best? Sorry, I missed that. It cut off.
Yeah.
What's the
Sorry.
best? What? Sorry.
What's the best theatre that you ever been in to work? It's just a question. I can't read half of them.
Ooh. There's theatre. See, this is the thing. I could say like there's like the best class, the best, and then there's the ones that I like. So I love the little quaint old theatres. Like I've done one a few times in. Oh, it's escaped me. That's gone. Lovely, lovely old theatre. It'll probably come back to me at some point. There's a theatre in Scotland that I absolutely love. It's one of the first theatres I ever performed in professionally. I love going back to that theatre all the time. But the best theatre, probably there's one in Southend, the Cliffs Pavilion, quite a well-known
All right.
theatre.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best. Yeah, you've probably heard of it. As well as, I'm trying to think of some of the ones. There's been so we did Glasgow Royal Concert Hall. That was amazing. That was huge. Birmingham
That's
Town
massive.
Hall again. That is massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. Yeah. So I've done some big theatres. But for me, they're not my favourites. I don't get me wrong, I love performing, but I kind of like the intimacy of the old theatres. And you feel like you have a bit more of a rapport with the audience when they're closer to you, and it's a bit more personal than when there's so many people sat so far away from you.
Yeah. Do you ever come? Charlene said, "Do you ever come to the Southwest? Do you ever go to Western Supermare? Western Supermare. I'm sure I've seen you before."
Yes, I have done that a few times. I can't remember when the last time was. It was probably only about a year ago. So yes, I have been the private theatres.
Yes. Have you ever been to Western Supermare?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I think definitely theatre there for not that long ago.
Apparently, it's something to do with Western Supermare Holiday Park. An holiday park, Sand Bay.
What was the name of the place? Herne Bay, did you say? No, Herne Bay's Kent, isn't it?
No, Sand Bay, Sand Bay. Sand Bay Holiday Park. It's like Pontins.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No?
I've not done a Pontins, no. I've done a lot that neck of the woods, but I've not.
All right, okay. I'm just kind of like getting the questions here.
Yeah.
Now, you said the nice theatre. What's the worst place you've ever been?
Say that again, the last bit cut off.
Yeah, sorry. What's the worst place that you ever been to do a show? Come on, you know.
The worst.
Which was like, oh, it's a dive. Come on, you're laughing. You know there's a place.
If I'm going to be brutally honest and I don't want to be mean because it's such a popular thing, but it sticks in my head, unfortunately. The Pheasantry in Chelsea in London, really quite a famous venue. A lot of big names have performed on there. Lovely cabaret room. But the last time I was there, the dressing room was, I don't want to get in trouble for saying it, but the dressing room was awful. It's got it's like a conservatory style, like windowed roof. And when you get changed in there, especially when it's dark, the lights are on, but people sat above, side maybe smoking, or if they're eating outside, they can see you getting changed. There's blinds, but there's gaps of blinds, so you have to try and cover yourself up while you're changing in there. But when I was last there was before Christmas, and it had been raining and the floor was soaking wet, and obviously nice dresses are in this water and there's nowhere to change there. It's pretty nasty. That's actually like quite a fair. So that's the worst in my head now that I can think of, because nobody wants to be practically swimming while they're getting changed.
Yeah. Would you ever like to play at the Palladium?
I'd love to. I wouldn't say no if someone asked me.
Right, okay. Have you ever done television? Have you ever worked on TV?
Have I ever done what?
Television.
Yes, I've done a couple of bits. The most recent was, I don't know whether I even want to mention it because I don't want people to find it because it's terrible. I did an antiques show called Curiosity, which I think they discontinued. I was really on it. So yeah, I did that more recently. So but I was an embarrassment, so don't look it up.
Hang on for a second, let's go to it. I just want to show some people some videos of what you've been into, but not not that one. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're nearly coming to the end now.
I really need to update my footage, by the way.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Oh, hang on for a sec. Oh, we're back again.
I really need to update my footage, by the way.
Yeah, don't worry. Oops. Here we go. Oh, God. Start from the beginning. But when I do, I don't want to, 'cause my heart belongs. Oh, sorry. If I a boy summer,
ride on my fighting caddy. I just adore him, asking for more, but my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, and I simply couldn't be back. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy. Da 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 da. And I want to warn you, laddie, though I know you're perfectly swell, that my heart belongs to Daddy, 'cause my daddy, he treats me so well. While carrying on a game of golf, I might make you crazy, Paddy. But when I do, I don't follow through. My heart belongs to Daddy. If I avoid some to cook up a nice enchilada, those Spanish rice is all that my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, and I simply couldn't be back. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, da 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 da. And I want to warn you, laddie, though I know you're perfectly swell, that my heart belongs to Daddy, who's my daddy. He treats me so well.
There you go. What was wrong with that? That was fantastic. That was very good. You look shocked there. You look shocked there. Oh, three of you now. Hello. Hi. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I think I've now joined twice. There's now two of me.
No, there's one of you.
Like you really want two of me. Oh no, there's only one.
No, I
One's
don't
enough.
mind two of you. I don't mind. Yeah, no, I don't mind two of you. I don't mind. I was just saying. I was just saying with that song. You know, it's she was really a classy woman. She was. But what I'm trying to say to you is,
Yeah.
when you are singing and when you try to portray her in your act, do you think you're classy?
I try to be. It's hard because obviously when she was singing, it was within a whole movie, so yeah, she just do the on here and there in various movies. Whereas for me, more often than not, I'm singing sort of between 2 or 3 songs up to a whole set occasionally, and it's hard because to kind of have the fun and flirtatious element while singing the songs classily. So it's I try and keep it classy. I mean, it is
Yeah.
classy. You do have to flirt with men, but I do it in a classy way, and I always get the women involved well, so they don't feel left out.
Are you a flirt in real life?
Sorry,
Are you a flirt in real life?
am I a flirt in real life? Not really, actually. No. People probably think I am because I'm quite, bubbly and talkative, and I'll talk to anyone at any time. But I don't necessarily mean to flirt. Kind of can't be bothered with that.
Right. Okay. Um. Right. Okay. What else is it? Let's go to questions. Then we're nearly finished. I bet you'd be glad when you are. Charlie, will you sing a song for us now, please? Oh, I didn't actually ask her
Oh,
to sing a song, but if you want to, you can.
I mean, I'm happy to. Do you want to join in with me? If I
Um,
do, to be loved by you, can you join in with the boo boopy doos? And anyone
No, what?
watching can join in with the boo booby doo.
Go on, you carry on. I'll watch.
I want to be loved by you, just you, and nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. Boop boop be doo. You missed out the boobies.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't usually look at boobies. Um, yeah. Well, I used to. What I used to. No, hang on a sec. Go away. What else is it? What we got? Please, will you give us a song? No, she's just done one. Wow, her voice is so
Thank
amazing.
you. That's sweet.
I can listen to her all night. Actually, I might. Actually, I need her to come back because I'm running out of time. She'll probably say no at this rate. Please, will you give us no?
Be silly.
Thanks for telling me all that, Charlie. Well done. Charlie, will you? No. Right. Okay. I've got 2 more to go. Right. If you was on a desert island, who would you like to be with? If you were on a desert island,
Sorry.
this is a question from Carol. Carol said, if you were on a desert island, who would you like to be with?
Oh, purely because I want to survive. What's his name? Is it Bear Grylls? Isn't he really good at stuff like that? I'd probably like to be with him so that I can get off the island and get back to normality. And there's no red lipstick on a desert island, and there's probably not champagne either. So Bear Grylls can get me home so I can have my red lipstick and champagne. I hope that's him. I hope that's his name. I'm sure it's Bear Grylls, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's Bill Grylls. Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah, it's definitely
Purely
him.
for survival reasons.
Only for survival. Yeah. Okay. I don't believe you. There you go. What was it? We covered that. Sorry about this. Oh yes. Is any of your family members in entertainment too? Shall I say that again?
Yes, my sister is also in entertainment.
Right. And what did she do?
Yes, so my sister, she trained professionally as well for 3 years, and then she took a job on Caribbean, and she was in Greece. She played Jan in Greece, who, for any of you that don't know, is the one that kind of eats all the time. Quite a fun character. She didn't really enjoy doing that part because it meant she used to have to eat a Twinkie every single night on stage, which made her feel quite unwell. She came off that ship last year, was meant to be going on another one. Well, she's meant to be on it now, doing Saturday Night Fever, but obviously because of COVID, she's not at the moment. But she's a very good singer. She's a lot better than me. She's amazing.
No. I reckon you're really good. And that's it. Really, I do really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for the short notice.
Thank you for having me. It's been great fun.
Thank you very much, and I would love you to come back in about a few weeks' time because people are saying, "Can you have her back? Can you have her back? Can you have her back?" You can see all the messages coming.
Honestly, yeah, let me know.
What we'll do, we'll book you. I'll come off in a minute and we'll book you in for a few weeks' time and stuff like that. But I'll get in.
That'd be good. And hopefully by then I'll have better internet.
Yeah. I've got hang on for a second, there's someone here. Oh, Charlie, please come back. You're really nice and very thoughtful. You definitely look like Marilyn Monroe. Have you got a boyfriend?
Oh.
She has. Yes, she has. Didn't you? You have got a boyfriend, didn't you?
No, I don't.
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't have a boyfriend, but that you can send her a message. It's PO Box 53, the Canary Islands. Charlie, Charlie, thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you later on. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Indeed,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's okay. Bye bye.